My hair. It's like a wild lady. Mm,
Fresh from Borneo.
fresh. I'm going to start sneezing before we even have anyone join us here. Oh my goodness.
It's going to be a good one today.
It must be. Oh my goodness. For those of you that know me well or pay attention to Grim and I, you know that a lot of times when I am channeling, my nose, for some reason, I don't know, my third eye gets tickled and I start to sneeze, um, particularly when we have ancestors about. And so I hope that we have some folks here. We got that little action needed.
Yeah, you just cancel it
Just
and it
say
pops up.
dismiss.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got another little note here, Grimmer. New stars leaderboard is now public.
Okay.
Okay. Create a stars goal. We don't have time for that, do we?
No.
Okay. So, oh, and we got a few folks.
Yep, we're here.
You want to say hi? I'm still blowing my schnoz here.
See. Well, we are currently being fibbed to by Facebook and being told that there are 0 viewers. So let's go over here to the comments. And, whoop, Victoria is here.
Which one?
Well, I'm trying to. Just a second here.
Victoria Williams. It's my guess.
And Susan. Yep, Victoria Williams and Susan.
Booyah.
Booyah.
What does a witch say? Boo, 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 boo. I don't know. Um. Well, hello, Victoria and Susan
And Shelly.
and Shelby. Hello, hello.
Not
Nice.
Shelly.
I call her Shelby. That's her her
yeah.
duck name.
Right.
Where are you, Grim? Come back to this zone, please.
I'm sorry, but I am caught up in my own little magic bubble right now.
I know
I'm not
you are.
fully connected.
I got you. I got you. I understand what you mean.
Cheryl.
Oh, good.
Dizzy.
It was Dizzy.
It was Dizzy?
Oh, yeah. Well, wait a minute, though. Here's the thing. Ironically, 4 people have asked me recently for our updated mailing address. And we were going to show those things off, but we didn't bring them up here.
Are they downstairs?
Yeah.
I got brand new knees. I'll go get them.
Okay. Can you go? They're on the duckering table.
Okay.
And then the other thing is somewhere.
Right behind you.
Okay.
It's buried right now.
So 4 people have recently asked for our updated mailing address, and every one of them have said recently, I just got a little something that I wanted to send you. And so when these 3 items arrived today, and there were 3 separate things, I immediately assumed that they were from a couple of these people. And I don't know really, because it didn't come with a card or anything, but somebody obviously knows Grim and I, because the first one that I want to say, and Diz, if these are from you, she says she sent 2 books. I was going to say, whoever sent these books knows us well. A Tea Witch's Grimoire, and it is full of all kinds of tea recipes, and
You've just been oogling it.
I love tea recipes.
It's already on your duckering table.
It's already, yeah, it's made its way over there, absolutely. And then the other one is Coffee Magic for the Modern Witch, and I'm, Gussie and Grim here, right? Here we are, and Grim's particularly interested in the section about using sigils in the cream. So thank you for these 2 things. We also received a box full of Harry and David fruit, like the little pears wrapped in gold, and, so we're so appreciative of it, but I don't know who that came from. So if you could let us know if it was you.
I have a suspicion, but I'm not going to announce it.
Well, I thought it was someone too because we have received here something similar, but it wasn't them.
That also might. Okay.
So the problem is we sometimes don't.
Dizzy. Fruits are too.
Oh, good. Thank you. Because Graham and I, we're funny about receiving things from people. If there's no, um, if there's no, card in there or indicator of who it is, especially if it's food, we sometimes won't eat it if we don't know where it came from.
There is a card in there. Now that I think about it.
What, Graham?
I just pulled out the paperwork and set it aside with apples. But now that I think about it, one of those paperworks is an envelope.
Well, thank you very, very much. They say voice is robotic and gravelly, warbly. Oh, is that why you grabbed that to turn it down? I don't know. Did that?
You gotta give it a second to. Where's your phone?
Over there.
Okay. We'll see it. I turned off network stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I can do is this.
Oh, that's what it is. Grim, I need hiring for tech help, but you got to live in Michigan. And you got to do it for free. Sorry. Those are the parameters right now, but we need help. We need it desperately. Grim forgot to turn the microphone on. Of course, I didn't look up and check. Ay, ay, ay. How are you all, witches? I love y'all. Um, some of you couldn't hear what we were saying, but we got two really remarkable books from Dizzy Dup. She sent us a Tea Witch's Grimoire. Of course, any good tea witches, and this is the tea witch one, and then Coffee Magic for the modern witch. And Grim is so modern, this is great for him. But that's how I describe you all the time.
I'm looking forward to
the modern witch, Grim Dup.
Every morning I make a cup of coffee for myself, and if I'm using the French press, I've got to stand around and wait. And even if I'm using the percolator, which isn't very often, I have to wait for that first cup. Instead of getting on my phone,
we have a percolator.
Now we do. Well, the coffee pot that was.
Yeah. Okay.
Anywho's, my point being, instead of being on my phone dinking around on a game or something or checking out the news, when I'm getting my first cup of coffee in the morning, you can damn well bet that book will be in my hand.
It's going to be on our little coffee.
Yep.
We're making our own little coffee altar, if you will. And coffee has its own magic, right? And it's funny because we've been talking about doing this for a couple of days. As some of you know, Grim and I have been in the process of reshaping our physical space because when we moved in last September, we moved into a spot that essentially had become a storage area in the church. And we've carved out our own little living space in that area. And one by one, we're tackling each room and going through, decades of boxed items that my sister and her mother have been saving. But Coffee Magic fits right in because there's a section in here on coffee altars. So I thought that was perfect. Yep. Serendipitous. But that little box of fruit, we were not quite sure if we were going to be consuming it. But now that I know who it's from, I will tell Christine thumbs up on giving Don, her husband, the really scrumptious looking pear wrapped in gold. We sent that home to him. And now that I know it's from you, Diz, that makes me feel even better. Because I know that you put all kinds of kitchen witchery in what you do. So I love it. Are we still lagging or are we?
If we are, at this point, there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay. So, how was your weekend? Ours was busy, wasn't it, babe?
Oh, my. and what's funny is it was busy in an amazingly magical way.
Yes.
Exhausting, but still so many different types of little bits of magic were popping up all over the
Popping
place.
up all
It
over
was
the
magic
place.
popcorn. Bing,
It really
bing.
was. And today's title, I put up uh, part of what you had mentioned before. I called it Chasing Shadows and Light
Okay.
because I know that we were talking about, and we talk here often about shadow work. Hi, Brandon.
Yeah, we do talk a lot
I
about
felt Brandon all of a sudden. Is Brandon here?
outside of, yeah, he is.
Oh, good, good. Hi.
Outside of, we discuss shadow work a lot here on 420 in the background, off camera. You and I,
I
or
just feel a lot of love
I
from
know,
that guy. Thanks. I love you too.
in the
We're family.
background outside of 420 Tarot when we're not on camera, topics of shadow work come up quite a bit. But you and I personally have been trying to evaluate the message that we are trying to deliver on these live streams, and I think that's where this topic kind of came up today.
Right. And one of the things in the background that some of you may or may not know about is that we have, we are putting together, officially putting together. In the past, it's just been kind of rough and tumble, root and read mentorship. But this year, we are actually condensing all of the information that we feel is pertinent to understand as a spiritual person, as a healer, as a teacher, mentor, and just, a person on your own spiritual path. Call yourself witch, druid, pagan, whatever. Grim and I have been working on this class, Root and Read, for several years now, but this is the first year it's actually coming, it's actually in writing, not just all up here and up there. So um, we've been putting this together, but it's really caused us to take a step back and evaluate what we feel is important to share with the folks that are seeking our viewpoint, our perspective, our knowledge.
Yeah, those that are currently enrolled in the course, it's really important for us to not push our moral truths onto somebody else, I think is what my
Right. We try to you know show these are the things that helped me open my path wider to understanding where I am as a magical being. And as we're doing this, it's really causing Grim and I to take a step back and evaluate ourselves. And so we have been, we knew we were going to be doing shadow work with the folks that we're mentoring. As a matter of fact, if you're part of that program in the future, it's kind of hard to work it out, but we somehow work out uh, two private sessions a month on top of a weekly meeting, which sounds like a lot, and it is. But you're also committing this on your spiritual path. You're making a commitment to yourself, and Grim and I take that very seriously. We take that very seriously. And we've had a few times where, we've gotten caught up in our own shadows, haven't
mm-hmm.
we? Where we weren't expecting uh, a shadow to come poking out. And that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today is the shadows. A lot of us are doing shadow work, and it's a lot of buzzword out there in the spiritual community as well as it should be, because you know, shadow work, addressing your inner child, reconnecting with your divine self, and understanding that you're part of everything. These are great, huge steps on your spiritual path. And sometimes it can take a while to really grasp what each of those things means. And it doesn't mean that you're somehow thick-headed spiritually and don't understand. It means that you, like all of us, are just trying to see it through the spiritual lenses that you're currently wearing. As we go through our spiritual shifts, we not only alter our perspective of it, we alter the vibrational frequency of that event. So once you see something from a higher perspective, it's kind of hard to go back in the other direction, but I digress. That's not what I wanted to talk about. What were we gonna shadows and hiding? All right. So Grim mentioned something to me today, and it's a thing.
Keep it in mind. That's what I mentioned today. We're doing a reset on sound.
I think sometimes if I talk too quickly,
Test. Okay. Give that a moment.
I need to just kind of slow things down for myself.
I was just getting ready to touch you on the back too, to kind of ground you a little bit.
Yeah.
Without you getting ahead of yourself.
I've been doing a lot of channeling.
How's the sound quality now, guys? Has it improved?
Just waiting to, it has not improved.
Okay.
I feel that the message that we want to give today is quite important. And,
Well, gee, I
and
wonder.
now I'm starting to see that Facebook wants to tell us it's quite important too, and therefore,
Well, what do we do then, sir? Because there's nothing worse than trying to listen to somebody when it's all.
I know.
Oh, I hate that. Awful.
It's good now, much better. Okay, I just needed to reset the audio.
Okay. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Good. 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 So, God, goddess. I don't know what I was talking about. I was gonna remember it, and then.
I had mentioned shadow work.
All right. You were wanting to address the fact that when you make a commitment, this is something Grim brought up earlier. When you make a commitment to do your shadow work, and it usually comes around to I'm not going to let things hold me back anymore. I'm going to face these things head on, and I'm not going to let them steer me in the wrong direction yet again because I'm afraid of moving forward. But Grim reminded me today that sometimes he thinks that when people agree to that shadow work, that they sometimes agree to it thinking that it's going to get all fixed at one time. And I got to tell you, that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. Shadow work unfolds little by little. We used to compare it a couple of years ago when we would do these live streams. We'd compare it to, like Shrek being an onion. Ogres are like onions. Well, so is shadow work. It peels back layer by layer, and sometimes you least expect it. And when you least expect it, that's when something wallops you, either in the gut or the mind or the heart or something, and it just kind of, throws you off for a minute. But try to take those moments as a positive opportunity to see it more clearly. Don't allow yourself to get fearful in those moments because being afraid of going forward there. And really, when you are there, you are simply addressing your own self. You're not facing the shadow of the person that hurt you. You're not facing the shadow of someone dear to you that said something untoward that changed your life that hurt so deeply. You're not necessarily affecting them. You're affecting you. And so allowing yourself to let go of some of that stuff that isn't required anymore is necessary. But don't think you got to do it all at once to be healed. Hallelujah, because that's not how it works. It unfolds slowly and
It,
when you least expect it.
for many of us, it took years to accumulate those emotional triggers that inflict emotional pains upon us and those around us. When we open up that closet full of boxed up shadows and we stare into that dusty darkness, some of us just look into this void and are amazed at the number of shadows we actually have. Box after box after box stacked up on these shelves, and we're going,
That
oh,
closet was packed.
packed. Some of us open up that closet door and stare into that black void, and
We go,
oh,
nope, there's nothing in
not in
there.
here, not in here.
Clean as a whistle. Don't have any problems. No shadows whatsoever.
And if that's honest truth, and I do know people that are so well balanced in
Yeah,
their
I do
life that
too.
they really don't respond to those negative shadows anymore
I
that they
agree.
used to. So there is
Well, and a lot of
cases.
these folks aren't
Yeah.
responding
So in a lot of
to,
those cases, when they open up the closet door, they do see a lack of shadows,
or
not
at least an improvement.
an improvement, and that is a good thing. And
Hmm.
I think what you were pointing to were the like more like my energy when we first met. Nope, I've dealt with my
Yeah,
shit. We're
you
good to
thought you were
go.
all done.
I
You
thought I
you were
was
all,
fixed.
yeah. And the moment he told me he thought he was all fixed, that was a big flag.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I'm
Yeah.
glad you didn't ignore it.
Well, you know what though? It's kind of funny. I was at that point in my life. I was still in my 30s when we met, and I think I remember, even though I said I was no longer going to do this, I know I can acknowledge there was a part of me that, even though there were some things about you that I felt were maybe not congruent with me, I thought that I could help shape that for you.
Hmm.
I really did. And I realized during the course of our relationship that that was a false thought that was somehow implanted and adopted by me. I'm not saying that my mom did it or anybody in my family. I just think maybe culture and the way
Hmm.
I was, the generation that I was raised in.
The fix
Um,
it syndrome.
yeah, and so it's just, I don't know. It's been quite the journey, hasn't it?
It has.
And now I realize that um, when you agree to go on a shadow work journey with someone, you have to agree to hold on, you know, for as long as you can during that rodeo, because it can get kind of hairy.
And to
And
be honest, the easiest way for the helper to hold on in that ride is to address their own shadows while they're in that process. Because let's face it, our own shadows influence how we relate advice to others around us.
yeah, and what I thought was funny is you and I went into this, root and read thing. We already have our outline. We, even have before we asked the folks that we're mentoring right now, um, to be a part of that group, we had our outline and basic stuff that we wanted to do. Now we're just making it look good and sending it out in a readable format, not just handwriting all over notebooks. But um, and I was taking so long to explain that part, I forgot what I was gonna fucking say.
Well,
Jeez,
we're on
Gussie.
shadow work.
Shadow work, shadow. Oh yeah, we had this planned, and we thought we can do this, we can do this. It's gonna be fine. And it was fine for a while until our own shadows started popping up. Grim started saying, I don't know if I'm really qualified to do this. I don't really know. And I'm like, Grim, we have, 40 some years of witchcraft under our belts, of practicing an alternative form of religion. Didn't always call it witchcraft. And we don't always call it witchcraft now. We just do our thing, we just do our thing. But
We did have to start addressing our own
yeah,
shadows.
so when you are going on that journey with someone as a healer, as a reader, some of you I know have, like I do, um, daughters of my heart, and those folks I'm willing to go down, you know, um, deep dark holes with, because um, I don't know. They're part of my community. They're part of my love line.
And it's
And
there's a balance in that though. That the universe is always seeking that balance. So if you're helping somebody, you're committed to going down that deep dark hole with them.
audio is declining again. Sound resume.
Uh, there's a reward I want to move it. Just give it a second to reset. Thank you, Susan and Shelley, for letting us know. You started talking fast again too, I think. I wonder if it has anything to do with sound compression. Maybe. Can you give me that space so I can shuffle? Thank you. Alright, gonna shuffle the cards. Grim, you were saying something, but don't ask me what it was about.
I remember what it was. I'm just waiting to hear from the crowd now.
Okay. Yeah,
We've
let
got
us know if you can. I'm just gonna jibber jab like I do. You guys let us know. By the way, while I'm doing this, don't forget tonight at 9 p.m. It would be great if you could join us for
was it?
Pause for Peace. 9 p.m. your
Okay,
time.
we're better. Pause for peace.
Pause for Peace, 9 p.m. your time. And when you do, if you could, make your way over to the Purple Door. Christy and Susan have been diligently sharing that Pause for Peace on several different platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're asking folks to just go in there and um, just you know, put the time in that you paused, or just say paused, or just give us a heart or something. Just let us know that you participated, because I don't know, there's something about building up
That energy.
the energy together.
Shelley said something here that I think is really important to hit on, and that
Okay.
is the best way to bring learning to a halt is make the teachers doubt themselves. And I don't think you have to make the teachers doubt themselves. The moment the teacher starts to doubt, learning becomes a stumbling block. You're exactly right, Shelley. But I think what enhances the learning at that point is when the teacher can address that moment internally and adapt to it and evolve into a different way of teaching and relating with the students.
Yeah, that's what it has been for me. It
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been so much, and so we've been talking a lot about that whole worthiness
Mm-hmm.
thing and whatnot, but um, imposter syndrome and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But I think it has more to do with, you know, I'm not just simply having a conversation with somebody right now about my beliefs on past lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually putting it in writing,
Mm-hmm.
and people are depending on me to deliver, my knowledge. So I think we've been forced to look at some
And make
things
sure that those long held beliefs and foundations still hold true
still
with
hold true.
ourselves.
Right. And so what I love about it is because the whole part about root and read is designed to help a person get back to remembering who they are as a spiritual being.
Re-remembering.
Remember. And you guys have heard us say that. Remember who you are. You are so much more than just this lifetime.
And the only way, the only true, honest way to remember who we are as a spiritual being is to peel back those layers of onions, those shadows. And what Gussie was saying, I want to get back around to it really quick. We have to be willing to go down those dark shadows with the folks that we call dear to our heart. And in doing so, the reward that Gussie and I think anybody that's truly in it to win it for the group, the reward in that is we develop a better understanding of ourselves as we're mentoring others through their life's difficulties
Mhm.
and their spiritual life.
Mhm.
So the reward is well worth the reevaluating
Right.
who we are as a spiritual being.
Right. And if you're not the kind of person that gets online and chatterboxes like I do or Grim does, well, you're not quite a chatterbox, but you know what I mean. But if that doesn't appeal to you, not everybody needs to do it the way that Grim and I do it. Some of the people, I think, no, I know the people that write for our Purple Door easing, uh, when they have the time to really devote to putting their mind to researching the topic, the theme for the month, and putting their 2 cents worth. It's like really kind of ironing out your thoughts in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
And so that might appeal to you. And if you are called to do some writing, reach out to one of us about being a writer for the Purple Door easing. We have a few questions to ask. We don't just, take every person that wants to come aboard, but we're sure that anybody here would be more than qualified to participate. So reach out and we'll see if it's a good fit. because that is another way to share your healing. It might not be, not everybody can set up an Ask a Witch table on the corner of the farmer's market on Saturdays. I get it. So this might be a way for you to share your knowledge and your thinking by contributing and writing. We're hoping to grow that Purple Door e-zine, and it's just a little seed right now, but we know it's going to grow, and it would be great to have you be part of it. I have something I want to ask you. I'm going to throw this at you.
Okay.
Did I just spit on you?
No,
I felt like I spit
I
on
wouldn't have minded.
you. Oh, honey. You're so cute when you talk about spit. Thank you. Spit and farts. Thank you, honey. It's a romantic relationship
As
we
long
have.
as you're not spitting farts.
Oh,
Spitting farts are
no,
bad.
spitting farts are not good. Well, I have,
You have a question for me?
since we did rearrange and created a duckering station for me, which, as some of you know, I love and crave a spot that I can just sit and read my cards and interact with people that come to see me for tea and tarot. And I haven't really had a duckering spot for a couple of years, not a real comfortable one.
Mm-hmm.
So Grim took some time over the weekend under my tutelage. Move this there, move that way.
Tutelage. That's a word that I can accept. Tutelage. That's what you were doing. You were tootling me.
All right, I wasn't directing you. I was
You were tootling me.
tootling you. I'd like to tootle you, I'll tell you. But um,
Duckering.
no, I'm thinking about something else altogether.
Duckering.
Duckering, yes, the little room. Uh, Now that I have a space,
Mm-hmm.
I put all my tarot cards back in one basket,
Mm-hmm.
my Oracle and tarot decks. And this one I haven't used in a long time, so I got her back out.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe I'd let you pick a card from here for the group,
Okay.
and I'll pick one from here, because it's like a magical Monday, right? You know what else we need to remind folks? I'm jumping off to a different topic while you shuffle.
Okay.
But the
So,
Monday is supposed to be about Magical Market Monday. It's supposed to be a day that we share things that we make, that we create.
mm-hmm.
I'm terrible about it too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've made a few things that I've forgotten to take pictures of to share anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But let's all try on Mondays, if you are a maker, a creator of anything,
an admirer of creation.
share it in the Purple Door Artisan Guild and the Purple Door itself on Mondays. If you'd like to sell something that you created yourself, Monday is the day. And Monday, it's, yeah, we just, please help us try to bring that back online, because our whole goal, yes, Grim and I would like, you know, we have our own website that we have, and we are slowly adding uh, creations from witches around the world, really, into that Purple Door collection that we are looking forward to sharing with you as it grows. But really, we want the Artisan Guild to be a place that people can explore their creativity, a place that they can share what they've made, to get some feedback if they're looking for it, or sell it. If you're looking for a way to sell, Mondays are the day. You can post any day in the Artisan Guild if you've made something, but Monday is the day for selling. And Magical Market Monday, that would be the day that I'd love to see some magical things floating in there. So if you're called to it, if that resonates with you,
You know,
that'd be great.
as I shuffled the cards and listened to what you were saying, there's a greater importance to the Artisan Guild than just posting and sharing magical creations.
Oh yeah.
In my mind. When we share those things that we create, that we find inspiration in as we're scrolling YouTube channels,
Mm-hmm.
when we share those, we're sharing an opportunity for somebody else to become inspired.
We are, and we're also sharing the pride in our own progress. Because I think that is important. As up, are we off again or something?
Yeah.
That's what I say to you.
As we're waiting for the sound to reset,
Not you. That.
as we're waiting for the sound to reset, I'll say this about the Magical Market Monday. We must have stumbled across as a magical community across the Facebook universe a good idea when we started introducing magical goods for sale, because now corporate America is starting to nudge into that, not just nudge, dominate that sector now.
Right. And we want to capitalize on our own purple door, which is handmade creations. There's magic that goes into those things. Uh, when they get sent to us, Grim and I also consecrate, and we do our own thing with each item, work with it a little bit and put it on our altar, sometimes cleanse it, if it comes to us first. But like each pendulum that I have that Jem has made, I've worked with almost every one of them at one point or another, because, well, it doesn't matter because it's just the way I do it. But we want that to be our emphasis. And we know that there are a lot of groups out there now selling witchcraft supplies. I mean, they were out there 10 years ago, and now, everybody and their sister wants to own a witchcraft shop. So we get it. There's a lot out there, but these are things made from your Purple Door community. And if that interests you, by the way, if you're a maker and you want to sell anything from paintings to jewelry to brooms
Just not
to
spitting farts.
not spitting farts, and we're even open, if you're interested in giving readings, we're open to that too. Just, you got to know it takes us a really long time to get everything uploaded and online. It won't happen overnight, but if you're interested, give us a shout. Did you get your card
Yeah, I
picked?
did, and I think it's real fitting to today's topic as far as shadow work goes. Did you get your card?
Yes, I did. Let's hear what yours is first.
The Emperor.
Didn't we just have that fellow?
I don't recall. What struck me about this, though, is as I pulled the card out and flipped it over, I typically have to sit and stare at it for a moment before I can connect to it and go, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
is what it might mean. Okay, cool, right on. But this time when I flipped it over, I immediately understood what it was telling us.
Hmm. What was that? What's it saying?
Each and every one of us alive today, whether, and I'm not saying you have to subscribe to this belief and call it your personal core and root of who you are as a person, but each of us has lived multiple lives over and over again. In each of those lives, we have established a vibration
Hmm.
that will get passed on into our future lives.
Mm-hmm.
That vibration is something that we're supposed to be able to feel and connect with.
Mm-hmm.
To truly be an emperor, we need to connect with those ancestral vibrations, those past life vibrations, those animal ally vibrations, all of those things we are connecting to, not because we can't do it without them,
But because we're better when we do it with them.
because we are doing it with them.
May I interject
Yeah.
here? So a couple of days ago or weeks ago, who knows when, we
Hmm.
we referred to the Blue Man Group. Remember?
Okay. I do have a.
So so if you don't know who the Blue Man Group is, go Google Blue Man Group, because they're a really interesting performance drumming group, percussion group. And they use paint, glow in the dark paint, and it's just really an interesting experience. But I use them as an example because when they drum, the paint, the vibration makes the paint bounce all over the place. But um, as in any kind of liquid like that would be on a vibrating surface, it will bounce around for a while, but then as it starts to um, settle down, the vibration smooths out a little bit, the the liquid will condense into a puddle in the middle, or maybe a couple little puddles, but it usually kind of seeks its own home, right?
Yes, and what splashes up stops being a chaotic what's going on and starts to take on a pattern.
So I kind of think about right now integrating my past lives. It's kind of like all of these little paint all these past life paint splops out there bouncing around, and
Each past
slowly,
life a different drum.
right, and slowly the vibration, not a different drum necessarily, but a different vibration.
Okay.
And as I beat the drum in this lifetime, I'm allowing these other particles of paint
Mm-hmm.
to gather around me. Those are my past lives, and they're starting to integrate. They're starting to join the vibration that I'm beating now. It's like I'm remembering.
Oh, you're integrating those
Right,
past lives into the music that you're creating today.
right.
I see. That I like that.
Isn't that cool?
I
I,
like
I've
that.
been using that Blue Man Group
Yeah.
imagery a lot
Well,
because
and I think that's where the emperor comes in at. It's the emperor doesn't necessarily stand for somebody that's in control and in charge of a group. An emperor is somebody that's in control and in charge of themselves, with an understanding that the surrounding them is a group of people that they trust to advise when they reach their own shadows. Because every great emperor, every leader, every person alive will have to seek counsel at some point in their life. And the emperor, a true honest emperor, surrounds himself with those people that will tell them the honest truth from their hearts, not because they will benefit from the words that they speak, but because the community will benefit if the emperor can look past his shadows at that point and take the advice. To truly be an emperor, you can't just weigh your attitudes and your moralities against your own scale. You have to understand that every person in the world alive today, yesterday, and all the years to come, each come into this world with their own moral scale.
So to be an emperor is a means of finding out a way to balance your own scales in such a way that don't tip the scales of others out of balance. And when we react from a point of shadow and fear, what we do is just throw our scales all over the place pell-mell, dislodging other people's. I like the scales too, though, because it allows other people to place their weights upon your scales as needed to help achieve a balance when some of their